I've always been drawn to places cloaked in mystery, where the air feels charged with secrets. Bohemian Grove, hidden in the redwood forests of Monte Rio, California, is one such place, a private retreat for the world's elite, whispered about for its strange rituals and towering owl statue. I didn't fully believe the wild conspiracies, but the idea of infiltrating a forbidden sanctuary was too tantalizing to resist. On a muggy July night in 2024, I set out alone, my heart thrumming with a mix of excitement and dread. I parked my battered Honda a mile out, concealed by dense ferns, and began my trek through the woods. The air was thick with pine and damp earth, my flashlight's beams slicing through the darkness, catching twisted branches that looked like clawing hands. My pulse quickened, but curiosity pushed me forward. I'd studied satellite maps for weeks, pinpointing a gap in the perimeter fence near a dry creek bed. Crawling under, my backpack snagged on a root, but no alarm sounded. I was inside. The forest felt alive, its density almost suffocating, as if the trees themselves were watching. Redwoods loomed, blotting out the stars, their shadows swallowing my light. Every rustle, a squirrel, a breeze, made me flinch, but I followed a faint dirt path toward the main camp, aiming to snap photos and slip out before dawn. My boots crunched softly, the only sound in the oppressive silence. 20 minutes in, I stumbled into a clearing ringed by stones. A weathered wooden post stood at its center, carved with spirals, jagged lines, and an eye-like symbol that seemed to stare back. At its base lay a twine-bound bundle, which I nudged open with my boot. Dried herbs and tiny bones, maybe a bird's or rat's, spilled out. My stomach churned, a cold unease settling in. It felt like a warning, but I snapped a photo and pressed on, the air growing colder, heavier, as if the forest disapproved of my presence. Soon, signs of the camp appeared, a rusted lantern swaying on a branch, a bench sinking into the earth, moss claiming its edges. Then I reached the lake, its still water a black mirror reflecting the faint moonlight. Across it loomed the 40-foot owl statue, its stone eyes glinting with an eerie intensity. For a moment, they seemed to shift, tracking me. I blinked, and they were still. Just a trick of the light, I told myself, but my hands trembled as I raised my camera, the night's weight pressing harder, my breath shallow in the silence. A low hum broke the quiet, like a chant drifting from beyond the lake, faint but rhythmic, pulsing through the trees. I'd triple-checked the dates. The grove was supposed to be empty. The sound stopped abruptly, replaced by a sharp crack, like a branch snapping underfoot. My flashlight flickered, and I dove behind a tree, heart pounding, switching it off. Darkness enveloped me, amplifying every sound. Minutes dragged by in silence. Then, across the lake, a warm, candlelight glow bobbed through the trees, too unsteady for a flashlight, weaving erratically before vanishing. Every instinct screamed to leave, but I had to know. I skirted the lake, the ground slick with moss and tangled roots, my boots slipping as I moved. The owl statue grew larger, its cruel beak and moss-covered wings casting a judgmental shadow. At its base was a stone altar, stained dark with something I didn't want to name. Scattered around were offerings, feathers, coins, bone bundles, some fresh, others crumbling to dust. Nearby, half hidden by leaves, was a trapdoor with a rusted iron ring. My mouth went dry. This wasn't on any map or forum post. Against all reason, I pulled it open, the creak echoing like a scream. A stone staircase descended into darkness, the air thick with dampness and a sharp, metallic scent, like old blood. I hesitated, fear clawing at me, but something, an urge I couldn't name, pulled me down. The stairs were uneven, spiraling deeper than seemed possible. My flashlight flickered, casting jagged shadows. After 20 steps, the stairs opened into a chamber, its rough-hewn walls etched with symbols that pulsed faintly, as if alive. In the center stood a stone table, stained with dark, sticky patches. On it lay a cracked leather book, its claw-shaped clasp glinting ominously. Burned-out candles and glass shards surrounded it, catching my light like broken teeth. My hands shook as I opened the book. Its brittle pages were filled with jagged, unreadable script, like it was scratched in rage, and drawings of creatures, too many limbs, eyes that seemed to follow me. My skin crawled, a primal fear gripping my chest. The hum returned, louder, not human, like voices layered from the earth itself. My flashlight flickered violently, and the shadows stretched toward me, claw-like, moving against the light's logic. I slammed the book shut, stuffed it into my backpack, and bolted up the stairs, panic drowning out reason. The air felt thicker, pressing against me, as if the chamber resented my theft. I slammed the trapdoor shut and ran, branches tearing at my clothes, roots tripping me. The hum vibrated through the forest, louder now, joined by dozens of flickering lights, those candle-like glows, weaving through the trees, pulsing like heartbeats. Some darted closer, others circled, their movements unnatural, almost predatory. I stumbled, scraping my hands, but kept running, the forest closing in like a living thing. I don't know how I reached the fence, my car, but I did, speeding off with headlights off, the grove's weight clinging to me like damp cloth. 2 towns over, in a motel, the book sat on the table, its clasp glinting like an accusing eye. I haven't touched it since, too afraid of what it holds. My camera's memory card was fried, photos gone. My flashlight died despite new batteries. At night, I hear that hum, faint but relentless, echoing in my skull. Shadows shift in my peripheral vision, formless yet watchful, lingering in mirrors and dark corners. A week ago, a package arrived, no return address, containing a black feather flecked with red, tied in twine. I burned it, but the rotting smell lingers, seeping into my dreams where the owl's eyes follow me, unblinking. Sometimes, I wake to scratches on my arms, faint but deep, like something clawed me in my sleep. I've tried leaving town, but the hum follows, louder in quiet moments. I don't know what I found in Bohemian Grove, what those lights were, or what the book holds. It's beyond explanation, and I'm not sure I want to understand.